Okay, very good. Are you watching on the YouTube as well?
I do have it up. I have it muted because the delay is just mine. It just rattles my cage a bit too much.
Yeah, understood. Understood. All right, very good. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. W0KPH, KE0VH Wheat Ridge on the SkyHubLink. We'll start the net here in about 5 minutes.
Bravo Zero Tango Tango Lima. Just real quick, I have the live link up here that you had just started, the live YouTube plan here, and there's a little bit of a dither, maybe about a minute between the actual transmission that is the two-way on the actual Rainmeister server and the audio. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah. There's going to be some delay on YouTube, probably. So maybe during the presentation part, you can turn up the audio from your computer, and then just during the regular net part, you can listen to the radio. But yeah, there's always going to be some delay as far as that goes, Sebastian.
No, good to know. Just I just let you know I was observing that here. Hey, thanks.
All right, very good. I'm going to go get a cup of water here, and then we'll get started. This is KE0VH. Once again, if you're going to watch on YouTube, you can, and you didn't get the email today with the link, you can go to the Nets page at skyhublink.com and click on the link there that will remain up throughout the duration of the evening here. This is KE0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. All right, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. This is Jack, KE0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. We're here every Monday night to discuss amateur radio and other interesting topics. SkyHubLink is not a closed system in any way. We welcome all users in the true spirit of amateur radio. Please remember, during all use of this multi-mode linking system, please allow 3.5 seconds between transmissions. Also, 1.5 seconds after you key up, and then begin speaking so your first syllable or two does not get cut off. Also, keep that PTT pushed a half second or so after your last word. And remember, when more than two people are using one of the SkyHubLink repeaters, please set up a rotation so that you won't be doubling over other parties in the round table. Remember, you're on many repeaters and different modes simultaneously. Good amateur operating practice is remembering that others may need to use one of the many repeaters on the system during your QSO, or simply join in with what you're talking about. Also, if you're operating a hotspot, it's extremely important that you remember that when you're in YSF mode on SkyHubLink, do not enable the WiresX pass-through. Do not operate your radio in WiresX mode to change reflectors when you're connected to SkyHubLink. Do use the web interface of your Pi-Star or hotspot to change reflectors. If you operate with YSF pass-through and control the Pi-Star with your radio while you're connected to SkyHubLink reflector 92722, it can cause disconnects and link issues. Please do not use this feature of your hotspot when you're connected to SkyHubLink. Let me reset. Also, we'd like to ask you to please remember that do not kerchunk a repeater to test it to see if you're keying it up. Please do, however, come on and verbally ask for a radio check. Kerchunking a system can cause link issues and really is illegal as it's an unidentified transmission. And once again, to see if you're making the repeater, actually come on and ask for that radio check. Somebody on SkyHubLink is probably going to answer you. Please do, when you're monitoring the system, if you hear someone ask for that radio check, you be sure to respond. Let me reset. All right, SkyHubLink is also here for safety and assistance for any communication needs, including emergencies. If you hear someone call for assistance or emergency help on a SkyHubLink repeater, you can dial your local 911 number, report that you're an amateur radio operator and you've received an emergency call, give the authorities the details, and then they'll contact the appropriate agency in the appropriate area. Also, if someone just needs to reach out for any kind of help, maybe they got a flat tire, let's make sure that they get the communications assistance needed. And we'll go ahead and ask if there's any emergency traffic at this time. And this is a controlled net. All must check in to be recognized by net control. We'll take a few check-ins, then do a roundtable of that list, and we'll take another check-in list. I will take repeater owners and system operators checking in first, and then we'll do some check-ins by call sign area after I cover a little of the material that I want to cover this evening. If you're listening on the internet stream, please text me with your name and location and call sign at 303-704-3290. And when you check in, please say only your call sign phonetically twice. Remember to facilitate the system keying up. Allow that key up time of 1.5 seconds. Hold the PTT a half second or so at the last syllable so that you don't get cut off. If net control misses you, then please stand by for the next round of check-ins. Let me reset. Okay, once again, this is KE0VH with the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. By the way, if you're listening on the analog 449-450 repeater, remember that it will disconnect at about 8:25 Mountain Time for the Rocky Mountain Radio League Club Net tonight. You can now listen in the Denver metro area on 447.050 after 449-450 disconnects. The PL is 103.5 there, and it now helps with analog coverage here in the immediate Denver metro area. Let me reset one more time. Okay, and remember we reset during these nets because, one, we've got a 3-minute timer running on the repeater, so please keep your comments to less than 3 minutes. And also it gives the repeaters a chance to breathe just a little bit there, as it were. So we'll go ahead and tell you tonight's net question. Tonight's net question is going to be: have you ever participated in a special event station? Have you ever operated from a special place? Now, this could be POTA, this could be SOTA, Summits on the Air. I actually have done that a few times. Got a couple of exciting things to tell you about, and I'll be showing you this a little bit later as well. So that's tonight's net question. Have you operated any special event stations, and if so, what? And do you operate POTA? Do you operate SOTA? And I'm going to come to you, Kat, first, because I know you're operating a lot of parks on the air. So we'll look forward to hearing what you guys have done. Next Monday night, I had thought about doing this tonight on YouTube, but we'll be giving a demonstration of how to update your Pi-Star and how to do it from the SSH side of your Pi-Star software. So that'll be next Monday night. But we'll talk about tonight. Have you ever operated a special event station and operated from somewhere really special? And I've got one coming up that I'm looking forward to telling you about. So with that, let's go ahead and take check-ins tonight on the radio. If you are a system operator or repeater owner, remember to check in with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. And we'll get you started now. So let's see. Let me flip that over here. And we'll go to there and start getting your check-ins now. Once again, you can also follow us on NetLogger, don't forget. So with that, if you're a system operator or repeater owner, call sign phonetically twice to check in. Please call now. This is KE0VH.
Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet. That's Alpha Echo 7, Romeo Juliet.
Victor Echo 5, Romeo Hotel. Victor Echo 5, Romeo Hotel.
All right, there's Victor Echo 5 Romeo Hotel and Alpha Echo 7 Romeo Juliet. Very good. Good to hear you, Richard, and of course, Randall up there. And we'll go ahead and put KB0TTL on those. I see you did that, Cat, there on NetLogger. Cat, go ahead and put Alpha Echo 7 Romeo Juliet number 5, and we'll start with the top here. Good evening, gentlemen. We're talking about special events you may have operated, special location you may have operated. I've actually got to operate many times from the top of a 14er here in Colorado, 3 or 4 times, as a matter of fact. Let's see, Mount Bierstadt, Mount Lincoln, and Quandary. So 3. There you go. Operated a bunch from those mountaintops. We operated last week as not a special event station, as it were, but a cool little station out at Leone Meadows. And those of you who worked us on either sideband or FT8, myself along with my good buddy Stan, K5JNT, and the coming up here, Sebastian, KB0TTL. We're operating with us there. So, Sebastian, I'm going to go ahead and come to you first. Welcome, first of all, for your first time to the Monday Night Net. And how are you doing tonight? And have you operated any other special event stuff? Go ahead, Sebastian, from KE0VH.
Zero TTL. Yes, other than the special event station that we operated in Leone Meadows, which I had a great time doing, I do quite a bit of Parks on the Air. Been doing Parks on the Air now for just over a year, back when I was living in Missouri, shortly before coming on with EMF. I was just operating on a few local parks around Blue Springs, Missouri area. And then after taking the job and being on the road, doing repair work, doing, install work, whatever it is that us engineers do at the radio sites. I stop at a lot of state parks on my lunch break, and I do a lot of Parks on the Air here. Let's see. So far I've worked 42 different parks, and I've done like 86 activations. So I would say that I'm pretty active on Parks on the Air. I just really, really enjoy the hobby, and it's funny. About a year ago, I had, maybe 1,500 or so contacts total since upgrading to general class back in 2020. And now I'm an extra And the parks on the year, I'm up to almost 5,000. That nature special event stations do grow your logbook quite quickly and exponentially. So yeah, I definitely recommend Parks on the Air.
Okay, Sebastian, awesome, awesome. And I was told to back off the mic a little bit, so I did. You guys can let me know if you're hearing me on the radio as well as through the YouTube system. But very good, Sebastian. You're going to love maybe getting to try to make contact with our Kathleen out here, Cat W0KPH. Kat, talk to me a little bit about what you do, Parks on the Air, special event, that sort of thing. And Kat, of course, is our logger and spotter here on the Monday Night Net. And Kat, appreciate you and Earl's friendship and all you do for SkyHubLink. W0KPH from KU0VH. Go ahead, Kat.
Well, good evening, Jack, and all welcome to the net. W0KPH here. Yeah, I'm a podaholic. Haven't done as many activations as Sebastian there. I've done 42 activations in 11 unique parks, and I've been doing it for about a year, maybe not quite a year. Interesting, though, at Kilo 3305, I talked to a young man named Sebastian on August 26th of last year. I guess he either answered me or I think I answered him. So, yeah, because I wasn't at that park. Oh, duh. But, yeah, that's the only unique or activity activations I've done in my young ham life. So now I get to talk to Sebastian again without a park designator. So this is cool. Back to you, Jack. W0KPH.
Okay, Kat, real good, real good. That's exciting. Maybe you guys can hook up from some different parks there across the country sometime and see what you can work there. Richard, VE5RH up in Saskatoon. Richard, good evening. Welcome to the net. Of course, Richard runs the VA5SKY repeater up there on SkyHubLink. And as always, Richard, we're so happy with that. Richard is also one of our board members. So, Richard, take it over. Let us know what you do, what you've worked special event wise. Some of the different areas you may have set up and worked HF or otherwise with. VE5RH from KE0VH. Welcome to the net.
KE0VH, VE5RH in Saskatoon. Good evening, Jack. Good evening to all on net. One stands out of my mind in 2017. It was Canada's 150th birthday. And I went up in a Cessna 180, and we maintained an elevation of 9,500 feet. And I had the call sign of Charlie Golf 5 Romeo Hotel, which we had numerous repeaters circling Saskatoon, and that was probably the best time of my life, making all those contacts, Jack. Thank you for the net, VE5RH in Saskatoon.
Yeah, okay, Richard. That's awesome. That's awesome. I have told, many of you know that I was flying in that small airplane, Cessna 172, over the Roseville, Rockland, Auburn, Folsom Lake, California area on Friday. And I thought about taking the HT with me and just trying to do some simplex, but, I was more about the experience of flying than I was trying to operate amateur radio from up here. Who knows? Maybe one day, though, but anyway, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I've been to the top of some 14,000-foot peaks here in Colorado and did primarily 6 meters, did a bunch of 6 meter stuff from up there. I also used to stop at some of the rest stops and try to work a few things and just hit a few of those, but those are so few and far between anymore on the freeways. That's kind of a neat thing to do. But yeah, I'll talk about some of my experiences some more as we go here. AE7RJ, Randall up in Newman Lake, Spokane, Washington. Randall, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about some special event things that we may have worked or worked from or do, whatever the case may be. Randall, go ahead. Welcome to the net from K0VH.
Good evening, Jack. Everyone on the net. I don't think I ever have been part of a soda or POTA or anything like that. However, I have gone out into the woods and operated with my battery and with my throw it over the limbs antenna. A little RF burn because I didn't ground it once. And a group of us did go up to the top of Mount whatchamacallit, I forget the name now, and we went up there and operated. It was like just 5 hams and our spouses. We went up and did that. It was mostly camping with some ham radio on the side, so that was. There we are. Y'all have a good evening. AE7RJ.
All right, Randall, AE7RJ from KE0VH. Sound like you've had some fun there, and appreciate you being here and running the repeater up there as always. And we'll look forward to hearing from you some more. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about this here in a few minutes, and I'll go ahead and put this up on the YouTube screen. But I will be getting to visit the U.S.S. Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. Coming up here, it will probably happen on April 12th. Probably April 12th. I'm going to get to actually operate the ham radio station aboard the U.S.S. Alabama, which is on display and is a museum, and is also teamed up with the U.S.S. Drum submarine. I've been in contact with the amateur radio club down there, and if you ever get a chance to go to Mobile and see the U.S.S. Alabama, I'll know who to put you in touch with that you can maybe operate their amateur radio station. This is going to be a really great treat for me to get to see the battleship, to get to see the H.L. Hunley submarine that they used during the Civil War, and the U.S.S. Drum, all of this on the YouTube screen here. And also this weekend, I'll pull up a few more details on it, but this weekend is also going to be the museum ships on the air, so you'll be able to work a bunch of special event stations on battleships and destroyers and submarines and all of that here this weekend, so something to look forward to there. Let's go ahead and get another round of check-ins here. 0, 1, 2, or 3 in your call sign. 0, 1, 2, or 3 in your call sign. Let's get you checked into tonight's Monday Night Net. This is KE0VH, and we're looking for you right now.
Kilo Echo Zero, Romeo X-Ray Foxtrot. Kilo Echo Zero, Romeo X-Ray Foxtrot. Delta Yankee, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee.
Zero Alpha Romeo.
Zulu Lima 2, Bravo Echo Zulu.
November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray. November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray.
All right, we'll go ahead and pull up and start there. Let me tell you who I heard. Kilo Echo Zero, Romeo X-Ray Foxtrot, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee, KI0AR, Kilo India 0, Alpha Romeo. There, Bernice, good evening. Good to have you. Zulu Lima 2, Bravo Echo Zulu, and November Charlie 2, Whiskey X-Ray. All right, we got you in that set, guys. Let's go ahead back to the top of the list tonight. We're talking about special events, special things that we've done maybe. Special event stations that we've had to operate, the fortune to operate. Maybe you're a POTA or a soda type person, kind of like Kat and Sebastian are. So tonight, tell us about some of your exploits in this area. Randy up in Fort Collins, good evening and welcome. KE0RXF from KE0VH. Good evening and welcome to the net.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Being up here in Fort Collins, we are the home of WWV, our national radio clock, and I got to participate as an operator at a special event station we had set up there by the towers on their 100th birthday, 100th anniversary of WWV. And that was a kick. That was a real kick. Really enjoyed that. And of course, you know, it gained a lot of contacts and such, so it was a great time. So that's my story. Back to that.
Hey, that's really cool. That is really, really cool. As a matter of fact, I was going to pull up some WWV information here on YouTube. Yeah, I know that they do some tours up there and some special operating, so that's really awesome that you got to be involved with that. WWV in Fort Collins, of course, WWVH in Hawaii. They broadcast a time and frequency signal. Of course, those of us that have been hams forever are well familiar with this, and you can still hear these stations on the shortwave bands, too. It's really extraordinary. I had the opportunity to tour the National Institutes of Standards Time up there in Boulder here a couple of years ago, and really fascinating stuff. I have not been up to the radio station there. All the years I've lived in Colorado, though, and have not been to the radio station. I probably really need to try to do that sometime. So that's very cool. Very cool, Randy. Thanks for being here tonight. All right, let's talk to Robert down in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales. Down there near Sydney, VK2DY. Robert, you're a regular with us, and we sure appreciate you being here. So how are things down under on a Tuesday, early afternoon, I guess? VK2DY from KE0VH.
KE0VH, VK2DY, and all those places you described there. Well, coming to the end of the first month of autumn, and it is feeling very autumny. It's about, 22 degrees Celsius, 72 Fahrenheit. Overcast, raining on and off. Just feeling like a change of season here at this point. But we still got some warm weather coming up in the future here. It's a while before autumn and winter set in. We do go back to standard time on Sunday, though, so all the nets in the United States and everywhere else outside of Australia will be an hour earlier. So I have to remember that next week. Anyway, I've worked a number of special event stations. The two most recent being VK90 ABC, which was the 90th anniversary of the ABC, our national television radio network that was created 90 years ago, actually 91 years ago now. And I've also operated VK100BV, which was, I was a member of the club, I remember my club was celebrating its 100th anniversary, and we had a special event station for the 100th anniversary of that. So that was also a special event that I've run. And I've operated from beaches and ferries and various other places as well, just for the fun of it. And like I said, we had at one time we had a same club, Waverly Missouri Radio Club, had a contest on the ferry lines. I've run that a couple of times. Just sort of a fun event of a few things here. Thank you again for taking my check-in. VK2DY, back to that.
Yeah, okay, Robert. Well, it's great to have you. Very good, man. Yeah, it sounds like you've had some fun, too. I thought it would be really neat for us to hear about everybody's experiences here on the net tonight. By the way, let's see. I got to pull this back up to where I can see it here. But let's see. KF0ESH, yeah, we've got you checked in there. Parsons Project. By the way, guys, if you're checking in or you're looking at the chat on YouTube, if you got a call sign, please do include that in there, and Kat will let me know. But Parsons Project says U.S.S. Alabama, and the museum is quite a treat. Went with the Boy Scout troop several years ago. We were able to sleep in the ship quarters overnight. Man, that's cool. I would love to probably. My wife probably wouldn't dig that too much, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to operating the ham station. By the way, I will send out an email and a text to everybody that I can when I'm operating on April 12th on the U.S.S. Alabama and the frequency, probably somewhere on 20 meters. So look out for that. And I will also try to do some SkyHubLink check-ins. Believe it or not, they don't have any digital repeaters that I can find so far in the Mobile, Alabama area. I think they do in Pensacola, where we're going to be staying. So I thought about trying to link in a Wires X repeater, something along those lines. But we'll see how it works out. I'll try to let everybody know, too. Also, if nothing else, my Droid Star on the cell phone back into SkyHubLink, which those of you who have been listening to me for any amount of time, I think of these internet connections as a long microphone cable. So there you go. Let's see. Next on the check-in list is Paul from Wellington, New Zealand, down under. Way down under, ZL2 Bravo Echo Zulu. Paul, good evening. Good morning. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net.
Yes, good evening, Jack, and all the people on the net. This is Paul, ZL2 Bravo Echo Zulu from Wellington, New Zealand. Yes, well, I haven't done a lot of special activity, but I have operated from a reasonably special place. It's to the west of Wellington City on the coast, and it was called the Quartz Hill. It's QWARTZ Hill. And it was a receiving station from the 1940s and 50s by our National Broadcast Service when they were receiving signals from North America and also the UK and Australia, and that was in the days before we had internet or cables to the country. So most of the news and other services were received on shortwave radio, and luckily we managed to get access to that station for about a couple of years before it was turned into a wind farm, and when many of us operated there on using the sloping V's and the rhombic antennas, where the sloping V's had about 600-foot legs and the rhombic was about 800 foot long and pointed towards North America, and also had another one there pointing towards the UK and Europe. So it was a great station to work, and you could definitely work no trouble with about 100 watts into these antennas. But unfortunately, they've all been bulldozed, and the wind farm has taken its place. That's the story there. Anyway, back to you, Jack. K0VH, ZL2BZ, over.
All right, Paul. Very good. ZL2 BEZ from K0VH. Thanks for, boy, you guys have had some good experiences. I was really looking forward to this tonight. I thought that we'll get some, and indeed we are. I'm so sorry I skipped you, Bernice. Good grief. How could I do that? KI0AR. Bernice, it's your turn. We're talking about special event stations we've worked or that we have performed or something, along those lines similar. Maybe you've done. Have you done anything really cool amateur radio-wise other than the Colorado Astronomy Net on Tuesday nights, but anything celebrating anything astronomy or otherwise? Bernice, good evening. Welcome to the net from K0VH.
Good evening, Jack. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I know how these fun. let's see, I've done summits on the air twice, Pikes Peak and Mount Evans, back with my youth group many, many years ago. Did that, and then we ran a special event down at the museum when the museum used to be the Denver Museum of Natural History as opposed to Nature Science. So last century, I should say. But it was fun. I'd definitely like to do more summits on the air this year or whatever. Now that I have time on my hands, I'd like to do a lot more of that. Back to you, Jack. This is KI0AR.
Yeah, okay, Vernus, very good, very good. Thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, I have to admit that I would love to do some more summits on the air. I just don't think my knees will let me. Going up, they'll let me. Coming down, they may not. By the way, wanted to let you guys know, you'll see it on the YouTube screen here. I have pulled up the Colorado Astronomy Net Facebook page. You can do that by going to facebook.com and then Colorado Astronomy Net, all one word. So you should indeed hit a like on that. Speaking of that, hit a like for me on the YouTube stream. I really appreciate that. But Bernice, we have your Colorado Astronomy Net Facebook page pulled up on the YouTube stream, so maybe some other folks will go and take a look at that. This is the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. This is K0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, and now we're going to go to NC2WX. Gary down in Pueblo, and Gary, special events, we're talking about that, maybe some that we've worked. I actually have worked some of the other museum ships special events. I have the U.S.S. Missouri, the U.S.S. Iowa, and the U.S.S. New Jersey QSL cards from those museum ships that were on the air, and several other destroyers. As a matter of fact, I wrote about that in this edition of the KE0VH Ham Shack article. I'll put up a little about that in a minute. But Gary, what say you? NC2WX from KE0VH.
Well, good evening, Jack and Annette, everyone. Hope you had a great Monday. NC2WX here. So, unfortunately, I was only licensed after my camping, hiking, backpacking career had ended the summer before. So no sodas or any of that for me. If the field days qualify, I've done several summer field day deployments. And then this last winter I did a deployment with the Pueblo West Amateur Radio Club, and conducted the SkyHubLink Weather Outlook Net from down there, our good friends at the Masonic Lodge in downtown Pueblo, Colorado. So that is the full extent of what I've done. So it's good to hear all you others talking about your experiences. With that, NC2WX73, everyone, back to Jack.
Okay, Gary, thank you very much. And yeah, you've done some cool things there. It was really cool the day you did the WeatherNet up at the actual repeater site. I thought that was great. And, of course, that was the first time you and I had gotten to actually have an eyeball QSO, so I really appreciate that. And if folks don't forget to check out information on our daily WeatherNet on SkyHubLink by going to the Nets page. And then the next tab down is our Severe Weather Watch Network page. Will lead you to that. I've got it pulled up on the YouTube stream right now. You'll see the tornado twisting there. And Gary has a lot of great information on that, including correct criteria in reporting. That's one thing we're going to be doing on the Monday Night Net and the YouTube stream here soon, is what constitutes a proper report, and on top of that, when should you even be reporting severe weather? So we'll be going over that here on the Monday Night Net, but you can check out these web pages right now by going to skyhublink.com, go over to the Nets page, and also the Severe Weather Watch Network pulled. So, Gary, thanks for all the work you do on that. And once again, you can see all those tabs at skyhublink.com. All right, let's see who's next on the list here. Kilo Golf 4, Golf Alpha Victor. Hey, now this is really cool. This is my good buddy Alan, who I met for the first time next week, a new EMF engineer, and he's in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Alan, I'm so glad you made the net tonight. Welcome in. We're talking about special event stations we have worked or have done or something along those lines. Alan, good evening. Welcome to the net. Kilo Golf 4, Golf Alpha Victor from KE0VH. Okay, maybe if Alan is listening on the YouTube stream, he may get that in a delay. So, yeah, guys, I'd like for you to be able to check in via radio. It'd be great to check in via radio. Oh, Parsons Project is KG4GAV. I'll look at the chat over there on YouTube. Alan would like to definitely have you on with us here. If you would, by radio, if you're able to do that. If not, we'll figure that out later. Let's see. Let me go ahead, though, and in the immediacy, let's go to KF0ESH, John in Wellington. John, good evening. Welcome to the net. What say you? Okay, maybe John is not listening on the radio. Yeah, guys, if you check in on YouTube, I can't really put you on the air with us as far as that goes, but I will come to you in the check-in list. So be sure to try to have an ear on the radio if you can there. All right, VE5 Hotel Zulu, Dwayne in Saskatoon up there with Richard. VE5HZ, good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net. What you got for the net tonight? Okay, Alan says, I'll work on my hotspot and see if I can get configured for next week. All right, that'll be great. Hey, Stan, I see you there, K5JNT. I presume you're listening on hotspot. So, Stan, let me go ahead and pick you up here and see if you can come to us by radio there. And, Kat, if you would put K5JNT. There we go, in number 14. Stan, good evening. Welcome to the net. How are you? Okay, we'll try to come back and pick Stan up in a minute too. All right, let's see. We're at 4, 5, and 6s. 4, 5, and 6s to check in. I will come back and try to grab a couple of those other guys as well. Maybe they'll have time to get to the radio by then. But let's go ahead and see if we can get some more check-ins now. 4, 5, and 6 in your call sign. Call sign phonetically twice to check in over the radio. If you can, appreciate you checking in via YouTube. We'll try to come to you, but there is a bit of a delay there, so keep that in mind. 4, 5, and 6s. Go ahead. Your call sign phonetically twice. This is K0VH.
Charlie 4, Billy Yankee Charlie. Hello, Charlie 4.
So Charlie 4 Yankee Alpha Oscar. So Charlie 4
Okay, we'll go ahead and pull up there, and I'll tell you who I heard. Kilo Charlie 4, Zulu Yankee Charlie. Howard, good evening. Welcome to the net. And Jeff, Kilo Charlie 4, Yankee Alpha Oscar. We're looking for 4, 5, and 6s to check in. We've got you guys on the list there. Anybody else, 4, 5, or 6 in your call sign, please call now to check in. This is K0VH. All right, then. Let's go ahead and take Howard and Jeff. Howard, good evening. You still have not changed your QRZ location there. It's still showing you in Beloit, Wisconsin. But Howard, KC4ZYC, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about different, soda, POTA stations we may have worked or may have operated, or any special event station that we've operated, or something that's special to us that we've contacted. So, Howard, what do you say? KC4ZYC, K0VH, good evening.
Hi, Jack. Good evening to you, and welcome back. I understand that you were quite busy doing some work around different parts of the country, but had the opportunity to operate from California. Sounds like really cool mode. And last time I dabbled with FTA was when I was in Milwaukee, and I was with W9 RH Group, Milwaukee Racing Amateurs Club, if I'm not mistaken. Friend of mine had his radio for field day set up in a small trailer and told me how FTA worked. Glad to be with you. I've been kind of busy myself, actually. I moved over the weekend, went from a bigger unit here at the complex, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, to a smaller unit, now 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and I was a little concerned as to whether or not I'd be able to get a signal out because I'm facing west, not really toward the repeater. I'm in one of the intersections facing toward the pool, as opposed to facing south toward the attractions. A little bit tweaking and a little bit crossing the fingers, and lo and behold, looks like I'm getting it okay. So very happy about that. Let me go ahead and reset. KC4YC. And yes, thank you for reminding me. I think I'm pretty well settled as far as what I want apartment-wise. So, yeah, that's one of the things on my list. Get QRZ updated so it says Orlando instead of Beloit, Wisconsin. Hi. Other than they really haven't done a whole lot as far as special events. That is something I'd like to do, especially when I travel back up to Huntsville, Alabama on visit. They have some really nice locations to operate from. I've been on Montesano Mountain a few times and love to get some gear and operate a POTA station, VHF, UHF simplex. Just to get out well. I know with an HT I can get out pretty far, and I have talked to people in Nashville on UHF, and I couldn't believe it. I was down in Huntsville with an HT working them, so they're very impressed with that. And I probably, if I had a little bit better setup, they work in Chattanooga, possibly beyond. Simplex with a really good setup and a POTA operational. I'm thinking about, and I'm going to get there for the HamFest coming up in August. Been down to Huntsville on business, and one particular time was there pretty close to when the HamFest was, but just couldn't open that fact that I'm not going to be spending as much on this apartment as I did with the last one. I can save up some money and set my sights on Huntsville. So with that, Jack, I'll turn it back over to you. Still problems with the left ear. My doctor's working on that. No more steroid shots in the ear, thank goodness. Now he's got me on Parameter, which is a blood pressure medication, but claims that it's good for inflammation. So we shall see. Hopefully we'll open up and I'll get back to my normal hearing in my left ear. KE0VH. Once again, good to have you back. Hopefully, your trip was good out there, in California and elsewhere. KC4 is in YC Orlando.
Hey, okay, Howard. Very good, very good. Yeah, you said several things that I wanted to comment on there, and then and then I spaced them off. But yeah, you said you had operated from Monte Sano there in Huntsville. I actually worked in Huntsville in radio back in the early '80s, and at what was then 99 FM WAHR. I'm not sure what that may be there. I had a friend that worked down at Way, and another one that worked over at ZYP, Athens, Huntsville. So maybe you're familiar with those, but a lot of cool stuff in Huntsville, and of course they have the Space and Rocket Center there, and lots of opportunities for amateur radio operating from some really cool things around there. So, Howard, thanks. Great to have you here tonight, as always. Appreciate that. By the way, we were talking about this a minute ago, and I pulled it up on the Google Earth map, so I'll go ahead and transition this over on the YouTube screen. We, Stan, K5JNT, and Sebastian, KB0TTL, operated a sideband and FTH station from this area. It's called Leone Meadows. It's basically a camp, retreat, resort, and it's really very, very cool. We were staying in this hotel section over here, and we had a 20-meter dipole antenna thrown up. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see where I'm moving the mouse. So we had that set up there, and I'll go ahead and zoom out, and you can get an idea of where this is. Let's see. Let me go ahead and zoom out some more. So here's Folsom Lake. Here's Sacramento. So we were up here in the mountains southwest of Lake Tahoe. We worked a bunch of stations, and for those of you that we worked, I am working on a special QSL card. It'll be in your email, so watch out for that here pretty soon. But we were operating a little special deal there for a couple of 3 days from Leone Meadows there near Sacramento. So we had a great deal of fun with that. You'll see some pictures in the next KE0VH Ham Shack newsletter article and stuff. All right, next on the list, that's kind of what we're talking about. Little special things you've done amateur radio-wise. Let's see if Jeffrey in Grand Island, Florida can talk to us here. Kilo Charlie 4, Yankee Alpha's boy, let me get my tang untangled here. Kilo Charlie 4, Yankee, Alpha, Oscar. There we go. Jeffrey, welcome to the net tonight from K0VH.
Well, Jack, everybody on the group here. First timer. Had to hit the brakes and stop and get low and the ham radio again. Second trip, so I'm still learning my wires, X, and the other stuff that didn't have back in activation. I joined the club the day I joined our local club. We had Soda, local park, which is found in our. And then I also helped the club with a bicycle. Let's see. Back and forth. I should have helped. Definitely, I think it's Howard and down the road from me about here. Orlando. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say. A lot of listen I can learn. I have to get them. But how are you? About it. I'll turn it back to Jack and the group and have me on. Down. I'll see you next week. For YAO.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. Wonderful. Well, welcome, first of all. Glad to have you in here. If you're a brand new ham and your first time in here on the net, we have lots of great nets here on SkyHubLink. Check out the webpage at skyhublink.com, skyhublink.com. And you can find out all the nets we have on, all the different repeaters that are connected. By the way, to see how much distance is between you and me, for instance, what you would need to simply do is hit your F key. Hit your F key. It's not going to do it while I'm transmitting. Hang on. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, okay, there we go. Hit and hold your menu key for the setup. You'll see the button on the lower left-hand side that says lat long. Enter your latitude and longitude there, and you can find that by using Google Earth or, just look up, what is my longitude and latitude? What are my GPS coordinates? Or maybe you already know those. You can enter those in, and then that will allow you to see how far away you are from other people, or how far they are away from you. So it'll be that simple. Jeff, welcome. We're glad to have you. Don't forget the Digital Learning Net on Wednesday evenings, too, here on SkyHubLink, 7 o'clock with Bucky, W0SUN, and Doug, KD0, I know Doug's call sign, and now it's DC, KE0DC. There we go. And you'll be able to ask a bunch of other questions should you as well. This is the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. We are on YouTube tonight, putting the net on YouTube as well. If you go to the nets page at skyhublink.com, go down to the Monday night net section. The link for the live stream is there, or it's in your SkyHubLink email from a little bit earlier today. Let's go ahead and check in 7, 8, and 9s. If you have a 7, 8, or 9 in your call sign, let's get you checked in right now for tonight's net, and you can tell us what soda, POTA, special event stations maybe you've operated, or maybe some that are favorites that you have operated otherwise, or gotten QSL cards from. What, or maybe some special place that you're operated from. Maybe you were on vacation in Hawaii and you did a little KH7 portable there. What'd you do? Give us an indication tonight. Let's get you checked in. Call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. Please call now, 7, 8, and 9s. This is K0VH.
Yes, this is 9 or kilowatt 2 kilowatt uniform. Again, it's 9 or kilowatt 2 kilowatt uniform.
Oh, Oscar.
November 8, Zulu Foxtrot. November 8, Zulu Foxtrot.
All right, for sure, I heard that time. November 8th, Zulu Foxtrot. Also, Kilo Delta 9 Golf Hotel Oscar, 89 Golf Hotel Oscar, and there was I think it was November 9 Kilo Uniform. Is that correct? November 9 Kilo Uniform. Cat, in number 18 there is Kilo Delta 9 Golf Hotel Oscar. The first H should be a golf there. So the November 9 Kilo Uniform. November 9 Kilo Uniform. Can you come back with your call sign again? Let me make sure that's correct.
QSL, it's 9, Kilo 2, Kilo uniform, number 9, Kilo 2, Kilo uniform, QSL.
No, I am sorry. I am not understanding what you're saying. It's a little garbled there. It is November 9 Kilo Uniform. November 9 Kilo Uniform. Is that a QSL? Is that correct?
Negative there. It's 9, Kilo 2, Kilo uniform. Again, it's number 9. Kilo 2 Kilo Uniform QSL.
Okay, I copy the 9 in kilo uniform, but or the 2 kilo uniforms. So I'm not quite picking it out there exactly. And I'm sorry, I'm just not understanding you. You're in solid, not having any trouble hearing you, but just not understanding how you're saying the order you're saying that in. Give me one number and call a letter at a time. So go 9, 2, kilo uniform. I think I'm missing what's in between. Go ahead.
Got it.
QSL. It's 9 kilo 2 kilo uniform. Again, it's 9 kilo 2 kilo uniform. QSL.
Okay, QSL Ali. Thank you very much. I am so sorry. It's my problem for not being quite understand there. So my fault. Ali, welcome. Nice to have you. 9 kilo 2 kilo uniform in Kuwait. My goodness, I think you win the award for the furthest away tonight. Welcome to SkyHubLink from Al Salam, Kuwait. So we'll get to you on the list here. Let's see, KD9GHO, we got you, November 8, Zulu Foxtrot, and 9 kilo 2 kilo uniform. So we'll go with you guys first here. So Stuart, how are you? KD9GHO, we're talking about special event stations tonight, or maybe we've operated something special. Maybe you've done something really cool from the lakefront of Chicago or out in the lake somewhere. What do you think, Stuart? KD9GHO from K0VH. Good evening and welcome to the net.
KE0VH and the net. This is KD9GHO. Well, howdy doody to you, Jack, and good evening. Also to the net. I've yet to be able to be an activator, but I've been a hunter for the POTUS stations for a long time. And that's about as close as I get to doing any special events, other than GOTA at Field Day. Back to net. This is KD9GHO.
Okay, Stuart. Very good. Thank you very much. Well, good for you, man. That's pretty cool. You know, I think a lot of us have had a lot of fun with amateur radio over the years and have done a lot of different things. And I try to think of questions that might bring some of that out so some of our new folks can actually hear everything that we've had going on and maybe get excited and do some of that kind of operating themselves, you know. So, Stu, thank you very much. Good to hear you here, and, of course, hear you frequently on the America Link International Wires XNet on Saturday night. So great to hear you, Stuart. Let's see, Patrick in Houghton Lake, Michigan, November 8, Zulu Foxtrot. You are next. Patrick, good evening. Welcome to the net.
Well, good evening, everybody. Well, the special event station that we had for the Garden City Amateur Radio Club in Michigan, and that was at Henry Ford Village, and that, they call it Greenfield Village, and that, but the Henry Ford Museum. It was the 100th anniversary of Ford Motor Company. They had the display of, from the Model T, the very first one, all the way to the very first last car that was made that year, 2002. So it was quite a display, and we ran a special event station from there out on the 40-meter band and all day. and we had thousands of visitors that came from all over the country. And we also was able to meet with them, other hams that came in from other parts of the country. Plus, my wife made a special curry and goulash dish in a beach restaurant style pan, and every bit of it was gone. It was the best that food they've ever had in Michigan. So we had quite an event and made a lot of contacts. So it was a great thing to do. It was nice to be a participant in that. So then I'll give it back to Net Control, KE0VH from NHCZF here in Houghton.
Oh, man, that's really cool. That's really cool, Patrick. All right, I was told I need to bump this audio up just a little bit more, so let me do that. All right, very good. Alan, let me know if that works better. You're commenting on the stream there, so hopefully that'll work. Before I go to Ali in Kuwait, let me go to my good buddy Stan first, K5JNT in Bogochito, Mississippi. And Stan, I was wondering how close all the tornado action that was there in Mississippi last night was to you. Geez, I always worry about that. Anyway, K5JNT, I know that, of course, you and I did that little special thing out at Leone Meadows last week along with Sebastian, and we had such a good time with that. But Stan, tell us about some of the stuff you've done and how the weather is down there. K5JNT from KE0VH. Good evening, Stan. K5JNT, Stan, are you there? Should be able to copy you now. K5JNT from KE0VH, your turn, Stan. Okay, well, maybe Stan's not getting through there, Kat. If you want to let him know on YouTube, I'll try to come back to him again. Let's try to talk to Ali now in Kuwait. Ali, once again, I'm so very sorry. I had trouble understanding your call sign, and that's on me, not you. 9 Kilo 2 Kilo Uniform. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday night, Nat. I imagine it's either really early in the morning or late. I'm not sure what your time difference is there, Ali in Kuwait. Go ahead from K0VH.
QSL, thank you very much for returning to my call, and also very much for all of this introduction. Handle here is Ali Al Salima, India. Right now I am in Boston, Massachusetts, and the call sign again is Whiskey 1 stroke 9 Kilo 2 Kilo Uniform. Short is 9 Kilo 2 Kilo Uniform. You can find more information about me on QRV.com page, and I'll be very happy if you just confirm our QSO and give me information on the other side of my notebook. Also, very good evening to everyone, and just wanted to say hello. This is my first transmission on SkyHubLink here in Boston, and actually my station is based in Kuwait. Right now it's Al Salam, Kuwait, and this is the 9 Kilo 2 Kilo Uniform station. I won equally PMR, C4 ham, and many other modes on their frequencies over there. Also HF and BMR I forgot the name. Anyway, just wanted to say hello and just wanted to join the net. And please, I want to confirm the, what do you call it, the YouTube channel. Is it the Sky Hub, or can you confirm the YouTube channel for me? And thank you very much. And again, Big 73 from Boston, Massachusetts, the United States, and Big 73 for finals. This is Whiskey 1, stroke 9, Kilo 2, Kilo uniform. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ali, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for checking into the net. Understand you're in Boston there, operating Whiskey One. And yeah, if you look at SkyHubLink.com, SkyHubLink.com, SkyHubLink, all one word. .com. All the information is there. You'll be able to find out how to contact me. I would be happy to confirm a QSO with you in that regards. If you would like, you can send me an email and let me know when you have that ready to go. And I'll be happy to confirm with you there. That's not a problem. But welcome to the United States and welcome to SkyHubLink. We're glad to have you and hope to hear from you again. Be sure to jump on here for a comment every day and say hello to the fine people we have monitoring the SkyHubLink.com repeater system. All right, let's go to Jason. I'll try to go back to Stan, K5JNT, in just a minute, but let's go ahead and go to Jason in Hudson, Florida. Jason, how are you? Great to hear you. KD4ACG from KE0VH in the Monday Night SkyHubLink system-wide net. Okay, one more time, KD4ACG. Jason, are you there? All right, let me try to go back to Stan, K5JNT. Stan, you want to give it one more try? Let's see. He says he can hear but not able to transmit. We'll try Echolink in a minute. Okay, Stan, are you there? Do you want to try Echolink to get in? K5JNT from K0VH.
Roger there, Jack. K5JNT via Echolink. One way doesn't work. There's always another way in the SkyHubLink. Yeah, as far as the weather down here, I did. We came within about an hour and a half to 2 hours north of us is where that main line of tornadoes came through. I think they had some EF4, EF3 damage up through there across the northern part of the state there. Wasn't anywhere close to me. Fortunately, didn't hit any of my stations, but they do have a fair amount of damage up there. So definitely need to be remembering some of those folks up there in North Mississippi there that were hit hard by that. As far as special event stations, I have had the opportunity to work the U.S.S. Alabama down in Mobile and the submarine, the U.S.S. Drum, on some of their special event stations. And the Gulf Coast Hurricane Net down here has a special event station that they hold every year with stations set up in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. And last year in 2022, I was able to pull a clean sweep and got QSL cards and a clean sweep certificate from that. Looking forward to working some more special event stations later on, but right now that's all I got. Back to you, K5JNT.
K5JNT from K0VH. Stan, I am in touch with the guy who actually runs the amateur radio station down there, and he texted me just a few minutes ago, and he said he was going to drop down by the battleship tomorrow to actually make sure the ham station is ready to go for my visit on the 12th. So I'm going to have to tell my wife we got to go see the U.S.S. Alabama on the 12th there, and I'm putting some Google Earth stuff up on the YouTube stream right now. I have it centered on the drum, and he said we could probably operate from both the U.S.S. drum and the battleship Alabama, so that'll be real special. I'll have to let you know when I'm on there, and hopefully we'll be able to hit from 20 meters or whatever those guys have available antenna-wise. He also told me that he's going to be putting new antennas up on the USS Alabama, and we're looking at the Google Earth pictures of that right now. He also told me that they have a C-47, which is the military version of the DC-3, and they used to have it sitting outside, but they restored it, and now they've got it sitting inside covered. So that'll be really something exciting that I'll want to see. Is that a B-7? No, that may be a Martin Marauder. I'm not sure what that is over there. But anyway, I'm going to have some fun. That's going to be really exciting. I can't wait. Stan, thanks for being here tonight. We will probably talk either on Ham Shack Hotline or maybe on the phone. I want to give you a call tomorrow, and we'll talk some more. So thanks for being here, my friend. All right, this is the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. This is Jack Net Control, KE0VH in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. I want to go ahead and take some more check-ins now. I want to go ahead and get you checked in. Any place, anywhere, any number in your call sign. Let's get you checked into tonight's net, and you can comment on tonight's topic. We're also streaming on YouTube, so don't forget to smash that thumbs up button for me, if you would, on the YouTube stream. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get some more check-ins. Any place, anywhere, any mode. Let's get you checked into the Monday Night Net tonight with your call sign and only your call sign phonetically twice. Please call now. This is K0VH.
0 November Delta Foxtrot, and 0 November Delta Foxtrot.
So Echo 0, Tank Papa with
Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra. Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra. Golf.
Okay, I'll tell you who I heard that time in 0 NDF. Chris, good evening. Welcome. Good to have you here tonight. K0TPW Joe in Colorado Springs, of course. And let's see, Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra, Mark, KC8FQV is in there. And also, if you would add, Kat, if you would add Victor Echo 2, Tango Oscar Juliet. Victor Echo 2, Tango, Oscar, Juliet, and number 25 there. Let's go back to the top of the list. Chris, good evening. We're talking about special event stations we may have worked, special amateur operating that we may have done, maybe from a mountaintop, a beachside, maybe a fishing boat, who knows, whatever you might have had going on there in your amateur radio career. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the net from K0VH.
Hey, Jack. The special event was the St. Patrick's Day Parade back in the late 60s, early 70s. I did the and using a little motor
There we go. Chris, if you're still there, you dropped out. You dropped out there. If you want to try it again, lost you at used a little Motorola something. Go ahead, Chris. Are you still there? Okay, Chris in Zero India from K0VH. Chris, are you still there? We lost you. You dropped out at used a little Motorola something there. You want to try again? Okay, well, doggone, maybe we lost Chris. Maybe he lost his battery or something there. Chris, great to hear you. We'll look forward to hearing from you next week. All right, let me see who's next on my list here. K0TPW, Joe. Good evening. Any comments for the net?
Oh, hello, Jack. I hope you're doing well. I haven't done too many special events. I guess I went on one POTUS with the guys from the club, the local club here, and I did more watching than talking. They were going hot and heavy on that radio, and I couldn't keep up with the speed they were going at. And what else have I done? I've Casey with you guys, Summits on the Air. I've talked to a lot of those guys that got in their logbook, Simplex. And of course, I go out to Field Day when the club goes out in the winter and summer. But other than that, that's about it. I haven't done too special events. Back over to you, Jack. This is 80 GPW.
Okay, Joe. Great to hear you tonight, and thanks for the comments there. Well, maybe you will someday, or you go down and operate one of those parks around Colorado Springs, or maybe from the front of NORAD, or at least as close in as you could get. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, Joe, thanks for being here tonight. All right, let's look and see who's next on the list. Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra. That's our buddy Mike up in the Whitehorse, Yukon area. Wow, you're a long way off there, too, tonight, Mike. Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra. Any comments for the net? Good evening from K0VH.
Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf.
Okay, looks like we lost Mike there too. Mike, you want to try again? Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra. See if you can make it back through. Go ahead. Okay, not hearing Mike there in the Yukon territories. Not sure what's going on, but we'll maybe try to get him back here in just a minute. Although I'm trying to a couple of things here. All right, let's see, sure what's going on. All right, well, Mike, I'm still seeing Colorado Springs lit up. Let me see what's going on here. K0VH, everybody stand by, please. All right, for everybody on the digital side, stand by a minute. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the hub. Something is not operating correctly. I've got Colorado Springs in a total key down there, and it looks like it's that way over the system. So we'll try to see what's going on here. Everybody, stand by a minute if you would. Okay, that dropped. Let me rekey. Okay, that's working now. Somebody was keying down the Colorado Springs repeater, and I think that was what was going on. Mike, Victor Yankee 1, Mike Golf Sierra, up there in the Yukon. We did not hear any of your transmission. You want to try one more time from KE0VH?
Live on MTS returning. How copy?
Okay, Mike, we got you there. We got you there. For some reason or another, though, you're coming through Colorado Springs. Can you try to connect your node directly to SkyHubLink? How are you trying to come through the system? How are you trying to come through to the system?
Roger. I believe I'm coming in through drop in. I can change my note. Transfer direct. Try again. Maybe pick me up at the end of this list if you're okay with that. Victor Yankee 1 Michael Sierra, back to AE0EH.
Yeah, Mike, it might be better for you to try to come directly into SkyHubLink through All-Star Node 46079. Come in directly instead of going through Do Drop In, because we notice that when people try to go through one link to another to Do Drop In and then into SkyHubLink, it does not work very well, and it's actually showing it coming in to the Colorado Springs All-Star node. So Do Drop In must be connected into there. We've noticed that problem before. So, yeah, in the future, you may just want to come in direct to us there, Mike. So give it a shot. 46079. 46079 is the main All-Star direct hub there. So I'll listen for you again in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take another round of check-ins. This will be last call. Last call for check-ins tonight for the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Please call now. This is K0VH.
WQ9V, Whiskey, Quebec 9 Victor, WQ9V, Brownsville, Texas.
Victor Echo 2, Tango Oscar Juliet, VE2, OJ.
W5 SRD, Whiskey 5, Sierra Romeo Delta, Spring Branch, Texas.
You're trying to call Fox Queen Victor. It shows I'm there. I don't know if you're calling it or not.
Yeah, okay, K0VH here. Let me tell you who I heard that time. Whiskey, Quebec 9 Victor, Victor Echo 2 Tango Golf Juliet, Whiskey 5 Sierra Romeo Delta. And, yeah, we had a VE2 TOJ in there, too, so I'm sorry if I missed you there. And, yeah, KC8FQV, I've got you marked, so we'll go ahead and start with you here. KC8FQV, good evening. Welcome to the net. We're talking about different special events we've worked, or maybe we've operated, or maybe we've operated from somewhere special and unusual, whichever the case may be. Mark, good evening. KC8FQV from K0VH. KC8FQV from KE0VH. Mark, it's your turn. Go ahead.
46079. And, I'm just using the mute and mute on mute. I don't know what's happening, but years ago I helped do some communication for bike and running. We did a round out in the around the state park we have. So that's what we did. So I'll send it back to the net, KCFTV.
Okay, Mark, real good, real good. Well, thanks for being here tonight from Aurora, Ohio, and we'll look for you next week there. Victor Echo 2 Tango Oscar Juliet Tanya in Trois Rivers. I know I'm not saying that right, Canada. Tanya, you can correct me, but VE2 Tango Oscar Juliet. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night Net. We're talking about special event stations maybe that we've operated, that we've worked, or some special type of operation maybe we've done in amateur radio. Tanya, what say you? Good evening and welcome to the net from KE0VH.
Hey, this is V2TOJ, Tonya, up north Louisville, in Quebec, between Montreal and Trois Rivers. The most interesting special event of my whole life is being part of this net with y'all tonight. And another interesting thing I've done with antennas and QRP radios is I used to reach AO 51 satellite with a Yagi in my hand, just with a handheld and a Kenwood low power radio. That was really interesting, but that was perhaps 15 years ago. Okay, the notes on the net, the link between repeaters tonight seems to be, well, it appeared to be very messy, so I don't know if I'm passing through the whole thing. So I'm going to throw the mic back to you, and thanks for the net. This is Tonya V2TOJ around Lac Saint-Pierre in Quebec. Bye.
Tanya, it's wonderful to have you. Wonderful to have you. Thank you for your patience and hanging in there. And, we're not only glad to have been able to contact you there this evening, but to have you here on SkyHubLink. Yeah, all of you that are listening on the Dewdrop In conference, it really just works better if you come direct into SkyHubLink. And all the instructions and directions on how to do that are on the skyhublink.com webpage. So would invite you to take a look at that. All right, Whiskey Quebec 9 Victor. I think I'm going to let you have the last word tonight, Ken, down in Brownsville, Texas. Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. We're glad to have you. What you got for the net tonight, Ken? Go ahead from KE0VH.
Roger, thank you for running the net here tonight. We're 1 hour behind Colorado, if I remember correctly. I'm actually originally from Colorado, from Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And special event, I have done a POTA station. We activated a park down here in Brownsville, Resaca de la Palmas. If you look me up on the POTA page, you'll find it. It's the one and only that I've done so far. Enjoyed it. We did 85 contacts in about 2.5 hours, and we're expecting a good thunder shower come tomorrow. Today it was 88 degrees, and tomorrow, well, let's see what the rain does to us. Appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. WQ9V, back to net control, 7-3.
Ken, that's awesome. That's awesome. By the way, we have a SkyHubLink repeater down in Pagosa Springs right now. So if you ever get down there and visit, you can check that out. And, man, it's been a fun net. It's been interesting to hear about everybody's experiences and some of the things you've done amateur radio-wise. And Really appreciate everybody who checked in. 26 check-ins tonight. Kat, W0KPH, thank you so much, of course, for your spotting and logging. It's always invaluable and so helpful to those of us who are sitting here trying to actually run the entire net. But that's going to wrap it up. This has been the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Thanks again to Skylar, W0SKY, who's the chief engineer of the system, Jeremy, W0JRL, our system engineer for the work on the SkyHubLink main hub system, Bill Bucky Buckwalter, W0SUN, our WiresX engineer, all of myself a little bit there. Thanks to the Rocky Mountain Radio League, the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club, the Denver Radio League, the N2K&K Westco repeater system, Mark N0XRX, Randall, AE7RJ, Richard, VE5RH, and all the other systems and operators on SkyHubLink. Once again, thanks to Kat, W0KPH, for spotting and logging. If you'd like to be on the email list, be sure to go to skyhublink.com. Click on the Join Connect tab for instructions. You can go to my webpage, KE0VH.com. Scroll down the page for information on the net, the SkyHub link, and my newsletter, which is brand new for you there if you haven't read it yet, the KE0VH Ham Shack. And so with that, we'll wrap up tonight's net and return all systems to normal amateur use. Have a great night. We'll look for you next week, 73 from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Be sure to live long and prosper. Good night, everyone. This is KE0VH.